Welcome to Vlogcation Part 3. We have had some much needed downtime and we are now ready to set out on all the fun adventures again. Tonight we are going to Tivoli, which is an amazingly beautiful 180 years old amusement park in Copenhagen. Peter is out right now rounding up all the grandchildren, but when he comes back, I will try to get him up here so that I can try his Father's Day sweater on. I haven't touched the thing since we landed here in Denmark, and I really want to finish it. I also want to finish my Helix halter, and I will. I have done a lot of work on that one, but I want to finish his sweater. But at the same time, I'm a little hesitant to continue working on it before he tries it on. I want to make sure that all of the short rows that I have put in the neck and on the back are sufficient, that I don't need to do more short rows. I also need to check if I should do some decreases for the body, because he has these very broad shoulders, but he doesn't like his sweaters to fit too loosely around his waist. So I really need him to try it on. And I have prepared it. I have put on the barber cord. I am so ready for him to come up here and try on the sweater. I was able to convince Peter to come up and try on his Father's Day sweater. It looks more like a dress right now. I think it should be large enough, but let's see what happens when I try it on him. I have, as I said, prepared it to be tried on. I didn't transfer all of the stitches to barber cord. I just popped a barber cord, each end of it to each needle tip, so that when the stitches are spread out, they will go onto the barber cord rather than into oblivion. So I should be ready to put this on him. I do want to give you one word of warning though, Peter. When you're going to try this on, it is going to open up significantly when we wash and block this. This yarn is 50% silk, so it's going to grow. So you need to take that into consideration when we're looking at the fit.
Do it like this.
See, he's used to trying on things. He knows to be careful.
Always careful.
So. And what we're going to look at is the fit of the body, because we already checked that the fit of the yoke is good. It's not too deep here. It's going to fit him perfectly. But we want to see how the body fits, because everyone is longer on the back than the front. That's why we add short rows in the back. But Peter is much longer on the back than the front. So we need to check that I have added enough short rows. Actually, if you stand sideways, what we need to see is if the sweater is even looking from the side. And it is. Yes. I also did put in a lot of short rows, but it seems to be okay.
It's a bit short here.
It's a bit short. Okay, we're going to add some length. Who would have thought? I also want to see if I need to do some decreases, as I said, but I actually don't think so. Yeah, maybe a few decreases, and then some extra length. You want it to fit to here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to get a measuring tape. Measuring tape located, and we're going to check to see here. That's too short.
It is?
Yeah. So we're going to need an additional 12 and a half centimeters for 5 inches. But that is including the ribbing. And I need to take into consideration the fact that this yarn, again, will grow significantly, but also that when I add the ribbing, it's going to pull up ever so slightly. So there's still some guesstimating to be done, and I will try it on him before I start the ribbing. And I think we're going to take him out of this and we'll be off to Tivoli. See you! We are now ready for our next weekend getaway. This time we're gonna go to a water park. It is a perfect place for kids. Nothing fancy for sure, but lots of fun. We have a 2-hour drive there, so I have of course brought my Helix holder to work on that, but I also did bring Peter's sweater just in case. The lace pattern on the Helix holder requires me to look at my knitting quite a lot, and I can get a little bit carsick if I look down too much. So I have some stockinette stitch in the round as a backup, just in case. I did manage to work on my Helix halter on most of the way going down here, and later in the day I even got to sneak in a little bit of quiet knitting and tea time. Good morning. It is now Saturday morning, and I have sent the family off to the Aquadome so that I could have just a couple of hours, peace and quiet, before I join them again. And I thought I'd just pop in, show you the progress that I have made on my Helix halter, and also talk a little bit about sizing on sleeveless tops, because it can be really tricky choosing a size for a sleeveless top. As soon as you don't have the sleeves, the whole balance of the garment changes. So I will say in this pattern, the Helix halter, Jessie May gives a lot of tips and ideas for how to pick your size. And of course, it is a size inclusive pattern, so there's a whole range of different sizes. But it can be tricky, especially if you're someone like me who always goes for extra positive ease. As you can see, today I am wearing the first version of my cat number 3. Let me just get up so that you can see here. I picked the wrong size. I picked a size that is too big. Do you see how it just doesn't look nice up here? It's okay here. I mean, you can have some positive ease on the waist, the body, but up here on the chest, shoulders, too much positive ease on most sleeveless tops are gonna look a little clumsy. If you go back to the beginning of the video, on Thursday, I was wearing the second version that I made of my cat number 3. And I did a better job picking the size for that one. It fits much nicer over the shoulders. So what I have done for the helix holder is actually that I have been combining sizes, because I'm just gonna put a photo of this top. Maybe you can see how it kind of cinches in up here, halter style. That does not look very good on my body. At least it's not my personal preference. So what I have done is I have chosen a larger size than the designer recommends up here to get 0 ease. She recommends some negative ease for a nicer fit. I have chosen 0 ease up here so that it is my hope that it will fit more like in this photo. So a little less stretched over the shoulder and the upper bust area. But then when I gathered the front and the back under the armholes, I actually chose to cast on much fewer stitches than recommended for the size that I picked, so that I get a tighter fit over the body. So a little more ease over the especially upper bust and bust area, and then a tighter fit on the body itself. It is, of course, all a matter of personal preferences, but it can be tricky with the sleeveless tops. So just keep in mind, don't go for a lot of positive ease on sleeveless tops unless you like the look that I have with this one. If you prefer the top to fit your body, you should go for 0 or even negative ease, or just the tiniest bit of positive ease is my recommendation. But let me show you, because I actually managed to knit on it in the car without getting car sick. That of course meant that Peter's sweater hasn't been touched. I should really, but I want to finish the helix holder. Let me show you how close I actually am to finishing it. So I'm gonna hold it up like this. Here we have the joining of the body. So you have the neckline up here, the front and the back, and then from here I joined the body. Now I am actually going to try this one on just to make sure, because I really wanted to hit me bang on mid-hip, the hip bone actually, because if it gets longer, I'm afraid that it will like be bulky, and if it's shorter, I'm afraid that it won't come down to the top of my shorts or skirt. So I am gonna pop it on some barber cord, or actually pop a barber cord onto the 2 needle points and then try it on. And I will insert a picture of me trying it on. I don't think I have too much further to go before I need to start the ribbing. And after that, I only have to do the ribbing for the armholes here. So it is getting closer, and I am so excited for this one. I'm gonna go try it on so that I can insert the photo that I just promised. I am going to continue knitting on my helix halter. In a couple of days, I will be posting a new video where I will go through all of my whips, all of my summer knitting plans, in an effort to try to figure out what I need to bring in next week when we are going back to Italy. I hope to see you for that. Until then, keep knitting.